Hey, just taking a look out across the lake here. That's Lake Ontario behind me. Back somewhere across the horizon is Canada. I left the house yesterday, or Saturday, today's Monday. I brought a load from Greensboro, Georgia, back up here to Oswego, New York. I've been home for 3 weeks trying to fix my trailer and the brakes and all the stuff that went along with it. It was kind of a bad situation. I got home and I expected to just replace the one brake that was worn out. And then I noticed that my S-cam bracket was busted off, so I had to order a new one of those. It came in, I put that on. In the meantime, I went ahead and changed the brake and the drum because not only was the brake bad, but also the drum was bad. Then I noticed I wanted to order 2 slack adjusters, get them both the same. Ordered those in. I've been waiting all week for my new slack adjusters to come in. And what did they do? I went to the parts warehouse and ordered them, and it was actually off of eBay. But look what they sent me. Here's the box. Both of them was in the same box. But look what they sent me. One's got this little pitting on it, and the other one is completely different. One of them is crooked, and the other one is straight. So I'm back to square one with having 2 slack adjusters not being the same. Now, one of the slack adjusters, this slack adjuster here will still work, but it doesn't have that indicator that I was talking about. See how this one here has the little dial indicator? You line it up with that little notch when you put it on. This one here is the same one. Well, it's this one here, I should say. That's the one that's completely wrong. This one here will match up. It has the little dial. You match it up with that little crooked, that little notch right there. This one here, you don't have to do that. I can go ahead and get it back working and put it back on. I can use this slack adjuster and this slack adjuster. In the meantime, one of you guys noticed that one of my brake pads on the other side of the truck, they said in the comments that it looked like one of the pads was missing. So I was reading through the comments. I get out there and I go at 10 o'clock at night and I shine a flashlight. Sure enough, so the next day I went and got another set of drums. Well, pulled that tire off, realized not only was that brake bad, but also that drum. And the bad thing about the whole thing was the brakes and the drums was just replaced like literally 2 months prior to that, maybe even less. So I replaced that brake and drum. When I took the brakes off, I also realized that the bushing that holds the S-cam on right there about the brake, that it was worn out. So I had to go get a bushing kit. I couldn't get the old one out, had to take a torch and burn it out. I beat the new bushing into place. It's got about a 1/4 more inch, but once you get it past this seal, you still got to go another 1/4 inch on the inside to get those these little seals back in there. And then I noticed that the spring, when I put the S-cams came in, I took and, not the S-cams, but when the slack adjusters came in, I turned it by hand, and then I noticed that the S-cam was rubbing up against the spring. So I did a bunch of research, found out that I had the right cams, because the S-cams were changed 2 years ago. Everything was changed like 2 years ago. The S-cams, the brakes and the drums. A year later, I replaced the brakes and the drums again on all 4 wheels. And then of course I ran into all these issues. And it seems like some of these issues had started when my leveling valve broke. The leveling valve mounts up on the top, the little arm comes down, and then right on the bottom of that, where the arm connects, is a bracket that sticks out about 6 or 8 inches. And then that bracket had gotten broken and left the arm just dangling down with the bracket, behind it. So I had an extra bracket. I fixed that out there in Salt Lake City, because the first thing that I noticed was my brakes were locking up every time I came to a stop sign or a red light. But yeah, it was just like one thing after the other. And I'm still not sure. I mean, I never did fix the problem with the S-cam hitting the spring. So I don't really know what to do, except put the thing back together and get the hell out of the house. I mean, I've been home for almost 3 weeks. In fact, today is 3 weeks, because I got home on a Tuesday night, and today is Monday morning. So today makes 3 weeks when I started all of that. So I delivered up here in Oswego, New York. I picked up a big giant aluminum ingot there in Greensboro, Georgia. I guess that's the only news that I got, is that I booked a load up here for $2,400 on about 950 miles, maybe close to 1,000. With my deadhead, it was like 1,050. But the thing is, now I'm up here in Oswego and I have no idea which way to go. I guess I might just start, I don't know whether to head back south toward Pennsylvania, because I'm about 30 miles north of Syracuse. I could head east. I think it's about 2.5, 3 hours to Buffalo. I don't really know if Buffalo has anything out of it. I've looked on the load boards. This morning I got up, I don't see anything out of Buffalo. I don't see anything out of, in fact, when I pull up a 150-mile radius of here, I've got like 8 loads. And some of the best paying ones are paying like $1.78, $1.80 a mile. So yeah, it's like that up here too. So yeah, I just come out here and thought I'd get some fresh air. I'm only parked about 2 blocks from this area. There's a lighthouse out here on the Lake Ontario. There's a nuclear plant over there. There's an aluminum plant back behind me. There's a little bay right here, comes into the Oswego River. It's really nice. Very nice up here today. It's like 72 degrees right now, probably about 9 o'clock in the morning. But I don't know which way I'm going to go. I don't know which way I'm going to go. I looked last week trying to do with some Amazons. I got some buddies of mine, they're always doing Amazon. In fact, Amazon sent me a letter about 2 months ago, an email, and they're having an event coming up next week in Las Vegas. And I went ahead and booked it because they're paying for a room at the Venetian Hotel for 2 nights, Wednesday and Thursday night. We extended the stay, so me and the wife, we're going to Vegas to go do that. I don't really know why, probably just for a getaway. I don't know why we're going to Vegas either. I would rather go somewhere else. But my buddies of mine, you know, they do a lot of Amazon, and they went to it last year, and this year they were taking their wives with them. So I said, hey, I'll go with you guys. So we're leaving next Wednesday morning out of Atlanta, flying out to Vegas, flying back Sunday night. I let a buddy of mine get the tickets for that. Won't get into that story because he's got me staying up all night Wednesday night. Let's see, it would be Tuesday. Oh, it will be Tuesday night. So we're leaving Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. And so, you know, you need to be at the airport 2.5, 3 hours early. So that means I got to be at the airport at like 3 a.m. And it means I got to leave Augusta somewhere around probably like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning to make all this happen. So yeah, there's going to be that. When I get to Vegas, the first day I'm going to be exhausted. And then I let him, because we booked the tickets as a group, so we'd all fly together and, you know, kind of like stick together. Anyway, they got the flight coming back leaves Vegas at like 10 o'clock at night on Sunday. That was the only one-way flight they had, or non-stop flight, I should say. So we're leaving 11 o'clock at night, so you can add 3 more hours to Pacific time. So 11, 12, 1, 2. By the time it lands back in Atlanta, 3, 4, 5, it's gonna be 5, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. By the time I get back in the car and drive back home, there's gonna be another night, all night up, after being awake, waiting on the airplane in Vegas all day. So yeah, that's my story about going to Vegas. Not looking forward to it too much for those 2 reasons right there alone. Well, I just called on a load here going to picking up in Pennsylvania. It's about 220 miles from here. And it's going down to Kentucky. So it's like 560 miles. The thing about it is it doesn't load until tomorrow. And the second thing about it is it's 8,000 pounds, doesn't have to tarp. I'm going to have to eat the deadhead on this load. The load's paying, what does it say here it's paying? It's paying just a tad over $2 a mile. They don't have the rate on here listed. It was one of those loads that are listed without the rate on it. I just called on it. So I don't know. I'm thinking about just going ahead and ripping the Band-Aid off on this one too. Too many Band-Aid rippings. Too many Band-Aid rippings. You know, I don't mind doing it occasionally, but it seems like here lately, every load that there's just not enough loads right now. Not enough loads. And being in the area that I'm in, the place that I delivered to last night, there must have been probably 50 trucks probably came in this weekend, flatbeds and step decks and Conestogas in this area. So everybody's looking for loads right now, and everybody's having to scramble probably to find the load out of here. I guess the question I'm asking myself is, do I wait and hope that something comes in later today or something closer to me? Or do I just go ahead and, like I said, rip the Band-Aid off, so to speak, and start heading down toward Pennsylvania, grab that load for tomorrow morning, and deliver it Wednesday morning for $1,200. By the time I add my deadhead into it, I'm gonna be about probably $1.80 a mile. And if you know me, I've shared all my expenses and showed you how I do all that. It's costing me roughly $1.65 a mile to run my truck. And that number seems to be getting higher and higher. And some of the reasons making it go higher is I'm having a little bit more maintenance cost this year. And, but you know, $1.65 is my average over 10 years. So I don't really, you know, 1 month ain't gonna kill me if my expenses runs up a month or two, because I'm averaging it out over a longer period of time. And another thing that's making my average higher this year is that I'm not running as many miles. So when you don't run as many miles, that also drives up your cost of operation, which really needs me to focus more on loads that are closer to me with less deadhead, and trying to get the most revenue I can out of each load. But when I look on the load board, I'm telling you, there is nothing. I just got another email. Let's see what this one is. Well, I guess I'm on that load now going to Pennsylvania. Well, picking up in Pennsylvania, going to Kentucky. I told the broker when I talked to him, I said, give me a few minutes. Let me go ahead and fill out your carrier packet. They sent me over a carrier packet through highway. Took, what, 30 seconds to fill that thing out. But then I got a phone call about 5 minutes after that, and it was a lady there saying that she went ahead and sent over the rate confirmation. Because the broker I was talking to, he said that he would go ahead and let his partner in the office know that I was thinking about the load. Maybe she misunderstood, or maybe he misunderstood, and they thought that I was taking the load, but I told him, give me about 5 minutes, and I would, so anyway, I went ahead and filled out the carrier packet. She called back and said she was sending over the carrier packet. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it anyway, being that it's a light load, which doesn't really matter to me. You know, I don't care if a load is light or heavy. I believe that all loads need to pay what they need to pay. They need to be profitable. But at this time and age and right now, you know, as much as I hate to contribute to low paying freight, any other time I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would deadhead 200 miles before I would do it. Well, I'm actually deadheading 200 miles. I think it's like 230 miles to go pick this stupid thing up. The thing is there's just no freight up in this area. So I'm gonna head on back over to the truck and start heading south. And then when I get back to the truck, if I ain't got the email from her yet, I'll call her back and let her know that I never got the rate confirmation. So anyway, say goodbye to Lake Ontario. Beautiful this morning. It's a beautiful day. Well, the place I'm going to pick up this load is in Hazleton, PA. It's 220 miles from this location right here. I took one more look at the load board, and I'm 350 miles from Cleveland. And there's a couple loads paying okay out of the Cleveland area, around the $2.70 a mile. But by the time I deadhead to Cleveland to get it, I haven't done any better than going down to Hazleton to get that load. Now, I did do the complete math on it. I think I'm at like $2.40 a mile. I mean, $1.40 a mile. $1.40 a mile with my deadhead to go down there and get that load. The only positive side to that is the load is only 8,000 pounds, and I'm empty going down there to get it. I did just take another quick look at the load board. There's a load picking up about 40 miles from here going to King of Prussia. I guess that's how you pronounce that town. But it's a load of steel bars, weighs 40,000 pounds, 250 loaded miles. So with my deadhead, I'm about 280, might as well just round that up to 300. He's trying to pay like 600 bucks on it. I told him, come on, man. Give me $850 for the thing at least. Well, this thing was supposed to load tomorrow morning, and I'm here now, and they're going to go ahead and load me this afternoon. So that's good because it's almost close to 600 miles to get there for tomorrow. I think it's like 570 miles. So I can do a couple hours a day, knock a little bit of time off tomorrow, give me an easier day tomorrow. I can't deliver till Wednesday morning, but it just helps me have an easier day tomorrow where I ain't got to sit there and cram in close to 600 miles in one day.